Hi, how are you? I am Nikki Price from Rainbow After the Storm, and Lee has very kindly asked me if we would be involved in helping in some way with the ongoing journey of living with long COVID. So really quickly, my background is I work in the community, I work online, and I help people with their health, well-being and mental health. We have covered many topics in many classes over the last 8-9 years. Help with sleep, dealing with anxiety, mindfulness. I am a mindfulness teacher, and what I've done is over the last couple of years while we've had lockdown is I've taken a lot of the things that I was teaching. That's Romeo. A lot of the things that I was teaching, I've got three. They'll appear all at some point. Welcome to live recordings. So I've taken the topics that we've touched in the last 8-9 years, and I've made beautiful workbooks and worksheets to go with them. I've deliberately made them user friendly. And if you've got any feedback on any of them, please just let me know. My project that I'm working on at the moment is I tend to work on things that I'm really passionate about, or things that people ask me to cover. And I'm really struggling with a hidden disability and a hidden illness. It's a combination of many things. And I've had COVID also, so that's enhanced everything else. So I just wanted you to know that whilst I don't understand your exact journey, I have an understanding of frustration and anger and upset. And I was thinking before I started this, I've thought long and hard over the last 10 years about the last 10 days, sorry, about what should I cover when we're on here. And it's such a huge topic that it has inspired me to I write lots of little workbooks, or bigger workbooks as they can be, 50 odd pages, 20 odd pages. That one's Ferguson. And I'm definitely going to be covering one on dealing with a hidden illness. So what I thought I would do today is, for me, it's the hardest thing I find to do when I come to work is narrowing things down on a particular topic. So I kind of got all the worksheets out, which are hundreds, and like, what should we go with? And I wanted to start with where I am today, because one of the topics, that's Bobby. One of the topics, I just know them by back as well. One of the topics that I cover really often, and I think it's really important in just in general in everyday life, is what's in our control and what's out of our control. So I thought that I would start with that. I've done a copy of some of the worksheets that I use from different booklets, so they're in there as well. So, but I thought I've just pulled some together for us today. So I'm hoping that they will make they will help in some ways. So, but I just thought I would start with this. And if you would like me to come back at any point and start to cover more, or once I've got my booklet up on hidden illnesses, I can certainly let Lee know as well. The other booklets that we do have as well are already for sale on our website. We keep them. We're a CIC company, so a community company. We're based here in Warrington. So any money that we do make on that goes straight back into the company. So it just pays for more printing for us, because printing is not cheap, my friends. Things I've learned in the last 2 years, I think printing is not cheap, but worthwhile, well worthwhile. So I try to come from the person's point of view when I write these things. I understand the clinical point of view. My background is in therapy, in different kinds of therapies, CBT, NLP, bit of all kinds. But I don't want that to come across on the page. I don't want it to scream, "I'm in therapy." So I'm trying to keep everything as user friendly as possible. But if you do look at any of the worksheets and go, "What is she going on about?" let me know. Please let me know, because I always think just because I know it in my head doesn't necessarily mean I've got that over on a piece of paper. However, a lot of these have been road tested for years and years, and any example that I use in any of the workbooks have been examples that we've used from you when I've asked. I always ask if it's all right to use them. I never use anyone's names, but I just think it's really important that you know what I'm going to talk to you about. I do myself. And it's really annoying when my husband points it out, because I've said it that often to him, and oh, why don't you look at what's in your control? And I think, why don't you mind your own business? So if you're thinking that right now, when I have that conversation with what's in your control, that's normal, just letting you know. So screen share, it's a while since I've done Zoom. She said, looking around, where's the Zoom? Where's the screen share? So I'm going to bring up this up here. Here we go. I'm gonna just make me ever so slightly bigger. There we go. That's what I said about 2 years before lockdown. Make myself slightly bigger. It didn't stop. Okay, so sorry. Living with long COVID. I'll be honest with you, as a title, it's not the best. I could have put the word living well with long COVID, but I think right now we're just at the beginning of a journey. I know your journey does not feel like the beginning. But with regards to this recording is not about how to fix, because I wish I could. And quite frankly, I really do wish I could, with everything in my heart. This is about just things that you could look to use to help. Sometimes we just need that little bit of feeling that we're helping ourselves as well. So I'll get started. As you can see, this year I'm from Rainbow After the Storm. Our website is rainbowafterthestorm.org. We've got all kinds of bits and pieces on, lots more than bits and pieces, sorry. I've also got a YouTube channel which is called Rainbow After the Storm Mental Health Matters. It used to be under my name, which is Nikki Price, so that's why I was double checking. I do know the name of myself and my own company, honest. Right, let's get started. You may find if you have a piece of paper and a pen, that might be helpful right now. Don't worry if not. Really simple to do afterwards this. And what I will do is I'll say to Lee that she can send this over to you. I'll send a link to her from what we're using today, and you can send that over to you so you can use it as a PDF or you can print it out. I'll arrange that with Lee. So first thing, you will find if I'm ever asking you to draw anything, this is why I like a workbook, you see. You don't have to draw things, because my drawing gets as complicated as a cloud. So what, first of all, are your symptoms? Now you'll see that I've kind of put your symptoms in huge letters, because I was listening to the radio the other day and we're past 100 different kind of symptoms. And I'm pretty sure if I'd listed the 100 symptoms, somewhere along the line, you may or may not have touched on some of those. But I want to know, or I want you to get out of your head, everything you see there says get it out of your head. If you can get it out of your head and on a piece of paper. And don't worry if you can't, because some people work really well with just getting it out, and some people just kind of, when they're asked a question, just go blank. So whatever works well with you works well with me. This is your journey. This is your worksheets. But if you're able to and you sat there, you might be able to round them off. This is always really helpful as well for when you're going to the doctor. I do this when I go and see my menopausal doctor. I have a whole list, and I add to that list. Actually, I have it just like that in a bubble. I wish I had it to hand now. I don't. It's a big piece of A4, and I add. And do you know what? It helps because it makes me realise that it's real. And I know that sounds really daft because you know it's real, and I know mine's real. But what it does do is it just, I don't know. I think sometimes when we can see something, we just think, I'm not making it up, because when it's in our head and because no one else can see it, I know that medical take it seriously, but when I say I've got fibromyalgia or I'm struggling, when I had COVID, really struggled with exhaustion, still frustration comes. This morning I'm putting this together and had to stop and sleep, tuggling to myself, and had a conversation with a couple of people in the group that I work with around the different worksheets and some of the classes that I do, and they're like, Nikki, now come on, what would you say to us? I said, say rest and eat. So I did. I rested, I ate, and then I rested, and I'm all right again now. There's lots of changes we have to go through. I'm going to try to keep it on where we are, else we will still be here in about 4 hours time. I can talk that long, then I get tired. So this is your journey. What are your symptoms? So if you have got a piece of paper, that would be fab. Draw yourself a cloud in the middle, unless you want to do lines. So you want to list it, whatever works for you. How are you being, I can hear the spanners. How are you being affected? So what are your symptoms? How are you being affected? Just put it all down on there. So it could be, like I say, if I'm going to go off mine, I have joints that ache. I am absolutely exhausted. That's an understatement. I'm not quite sure if I like the word exhausted because it's used very commonly. It's a bit like anxiety. Anxiety is used, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling exhausted. No, trust me, you know when you're feeling exhausted. You will all know. You're all sat there now going, we understand what exhausted is. We understand what it's like to just lie on a sofa or on a bed and look, quite frankly, look at the kettle and go, I just can't even get up to make a cup of tea. There's been many a time I've thought that. And that's really upsetting when you can't do the basics. That's my huge discovery in the last couple of years. So get that down on a piece of paper if you are able to. And like I say, if you're looking at like piece of paper or going, it's all right, Nick, I know it off the top of my head. Whatever works with you. Again, please, there's no right or wrong way to do this. I have people who come week in, week out to the different classes that I do, and week in, week out they take their books home and there's nothing wrong in them. And I don't bat an eyelid. I don't need to. You don't need to worry about it. Whatever works for you works for you. So that's where I'm going with that. So my symptoms, my feelings. Let's get them down there. And like I said, this is really good because you can take these when you go and see a specialist or a doctor or a nurse, or you go to a group. It's really important. It eases the mind, because if the mind doesn't know what's going on, that causes more anxiety. So if you're able to recognize, okay, that's what's going on right now, doesn't make it disappear. Again, wish I could do that. But there is a little bit with regards to the anxiety that it helps to stop. And also it feeds into the brain, okay, this is where we are. Because I don't know about you, but my diagnosis was, they listened and they did listen. And they listened, they said, oh, sounds like you got fibromyalgia. I personally think I've got ME, but there we go. You've got fibromyalgia, you've got ME. I'm also going through menopause, and I'm throwing some COVID things in there, and it's just a real basket case there. And they turn around and you kind of go, okay. And then I sit and wait for that. How can I do something with that? And nothing really ever came back, just bits. So this is where I'm sitting down and going, right, what do I need to do? What are the bits that I can have help with? And I have, over the last couple of years, started to get some of the help and the pointers and the signposting where we need to go. So if you are feeling that, please know you're not on your own with the way that you're feeling there. So my symptoms, my feelings. Now this one, things in my control and things out of my control, is huge and can be used for any situation. Any situation. This is really important. If you have worries or have anxiety or get frustrated or upset, you put things down in your head, you write it down. Could be anything. So instead of it being what are my symptoms, what are my worries, you could do that. What is in my control? What is out of my control? In my control, and listen to this quite clearly if it's okay, is anything that's got the word my or I in it. Okay, I know that sounds like, thanks for that, Nick. Yeah, it's really important that we recognize that. So in my control are my actions, my self-care, what I do, my words, the friends and the people I have around me, my attitude, and I try to be as positive I can be, but there are days, even longer than days sometimes, where my attitude is just, I can't have a positive attitude. I do look at silver linings. I do try to be as positive as I can, and I do try to find meanings in things, but there are days when I just don't. I ain't got the energy to. And actually, sometimes I need to just sit with it. So any of those things, if you kind of listen to those, going, oh God, yeah, just please again, no, that's all right. It's normal. How I respond to situations, my decisions, my thoughts, what I say, and asking for help. So those are all the things that are in my control. And there's a couple of things that you take with you today. Just remember that big circle. I like to think of it as a huge hula hoop. Have to be quite big, I'll be honest with you, but a nice big hula hoop around you. And everything that's in that hula hoop, which is my or I, is you have control over. Everything outside of that, you have no control over. And we spend a lot of energy trying to sort out things that aren't in our control. So just let me give you some examples of things that aren't in control. Other people's actions, what other people believe. Is it real? Does she really hurt like that? Oh, she looks okay from the outside. Look at her, she's fine. And do you know what? One minute she's all right. I've seen her walking through town. And then there's other times I can't get off my bottom. We'll go with that, shall we? Those actually aren't real people, by the way, but that's my head that's telling me that. And there probably is somewhere along the line. They're out there. You've met them. I know you've met them. And sometimes they're kind of coming from good. Of, come on, you can do it. You'll be all right. What others think? Let's not go into what others think, shall we? Who loves me? My past mistakes. Don't keep bringing them up. Learn from them if you need to learn from them. then we need to let them go. It's a whole class within itself. The weather, I know it's really random, I don't know about you, but it does affect my well-being, and it definitely affects my joints, right? But I have no control over weather. It's, as you can see today, I am sat right under a sunbeam. I don't usually, by the way, when I'm on Zoom, just have my own natural lighting, but it's there. Who likes me? Well, someone else's decisions, other people being kind, other people's time, others apologising to me, predicting what will happen, and someone else's decisions. All of those things, when I say them, they hurt, because somewhere in my life, those things have affected me. And I think when we're walking around with something that people can't see, we see some of these decisions being made. So for me, I'm not saying this stops it from hurting. It's a habit I have now, and I've grown to have, and I have to remind myself sometimes. And I'm very lucky because I talk about this week in, week out. So talk about learning as you go in. I can tell when I've not taught this for a while. So it's, if someone's done something or said something, I look at that and just think, that hurts, but that's not mine. And it has to go out. That's what they think. That's where they are. Don't take it on. Don't take other people's hurt, other people's anger, other people's frustration, quite frankly, other people's nastiness sometimes. And a lot of it, depending who we're talking about, comes from not understanding. And again, visually they can't see it. I hurt my ankle recently. I had COVID and hurt my ankle literally within days of each other. And the COVID test was a positive test, and the ankle was the size of a melon. And I had lots of people still asking me now, how's the ankle? Because they could visualize it. The colours on it were fabulous, with the whole shades of rainbow on my ankle and the bruising. But you could see it. You could see how it was swollen. But with COVID, other than the positive, you couldn't see what was going on. So that was really interesting for me. Even when I've still got a bandage on now, I quite weirdly like the support bandage on, though I am, while we are recording this, still waiting for the x-ray to come back. So until I can know what's going on there, that's not coming off. But also it gives me a little bit of permission when someone says, oh, the toilet's upstairs. I have no problem now. We're going, well, I need the disabled one. So that takes a bit. That hurts, because I used to be able to bound upstairs. There's no bounding in this body. Just slowly struggle. Obviously, let's go to the disabled toilet that's down here, because that one makes my life easier. So what is in my control? What is out of my control? Now, we had our cloud at the beginning where we were looking down, how are we feeling, how it's affecting us. This is the bit now where we go thinking about our world. Write down what is in your control, so in the circle, and what is out of your control. And it is possible for items to straddle both sides. Because I think when we're talking about illness, or when we're talking about well-being or mental illness, you'll find things go across. So especially if we're talking about symptoms. So I'm going to talk about sleep, lack of sleep, just very briefly. I have done a whole booklet on it, and there will be another extended version coming out at some point. We also do some lovely sleep boxes, just so you know, and they're really reasonably priced if you want to give yourself a bit of a treat, or you want to treat someone else. But in my control, out of my control. So if sleep is there, some of it might be in the control, some of it might be the condition. So I can certainly use that. So for me, I would write across there, some in just across, so it's straddling both sides there. So we then look at the rest of things that are in my control and out of my control. You write them all in there. Now, the wonderful part about this is we are then looking at the things that are in our control. And then I would want you to write 1 or 2 very small steps that you can take for the things that are in your control. So if I think about it, I know I use the word sleep, so that could be in control, out of control, because sometimes my body just goes, hello, 3 o'clock in the morning, how are you? Things that I've learned is if that happens, it happens. I don't fight it, and I don't get frustrated with myself, because I guarantee you ain't going back to sleep if you're frustrated with yourself. What I can do is at that point, I have my little body reset. So I just do the whole thing of what I did earlier when I was going to sleep. So I've got a Kindle, because sleeping really helps me go back to sleep. So I'll have a read of that. I might even completely do a reset, and I might sit back up in bed, turn my lamp on, have a read, and I start again, depending. Sometimes I know I can wake up and I won't be awake long and I'll drift back off again. With regards to sleep as well, it might be, what is your bedroom need decluttering? Are you having your phone on loud so that if someone sends something, the noise is waking you up, or the light from the phone is waking you up? There's lots of things that are in your control. There's things that are out of. I'm going to use that as well with my ankle as an example. Out of my control is whether it is fractured or not, whether or not it's going to need time to mend. I don't think it's going to need any kind of operation, but the things that are out of my control right now, I'm going to sneeze, talking of things that are out of my control. What is in my control? Well, I pushed to get an x-ray. I have been to the physio, not just for my ankle, but for my back. I'm able to look at any medication that I can take. I'm looking at how can I have a really bad back, which isn't helped by the ankle right now, but the back is ongoing. So again, I can look at what small exercises can I do to strengthen that? How can I strengthen my core so that's helping my back? There's lots of things, small things that are in your control, and then we can get help with some of the things that are out of our control. It declutters your mind. It gives you some control over the things we can do, and then it just gives us that list of, right, who do I need to speak to about this? Who do I need to push? Who do I need to email? Who do I need to phone yet again? So for me, this is absolutely, and I teach this on every class that I ever teach, what's in your control, what's out of your control. And I use that across the board, no matter what we're talking about. Always comes back to, I always go, what's in your control, what's out of your control? And you can do it visually in your head. Sometimes I will just, I'm not having that, it's not mine. And I will literally visually move it, because it's reminding myself it's not mine. Just go, I can't do anything about that. Don't spend any extra mind space or seep any more emotion about something you have no control over, because we have little enough energy as it is. Whether we've got COVID or not, quite frankly, as general as human beings, put our long COVID on top of, and my goodness me. So what is in my control? What is out of my control? Now, I wanted to show you, there's lots of different little exercises you can do, but I love this one, and I've used this a lot. This is on my YouTube. I think it's one where I'm sat on the beach because my mum lives in Spain. This is one that I use a lot and has been used a lot, and I will repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. So if you ever do come to one of my classes, this is likely to be used, because I want you to remember it. I teach mindfulness. Mindfulness is about touch. It's about what I can see, what I can hear. So I'm rubbing my hands together, I can hear my hands, I can feel my fingers. If we're feeling stressed or we're feeling anxious, our heart rate starts to pick up, because our mind thinks there's something wrong. It's all connected. We then don't breathe as quickly, and before you know it, we're spiraling. So this is about regulating and reminding ourselves that we need to just breathe. Just breathe. So if I can get you now, and I can't see you because this is on Zoom, so I can just in, you'll do it. I've not, just watch me do it. Won't be the first time. If I can get you to tuck your hand, we're doing it in a really obvious way. We don't have to do it like this when we're out and about. This works brilliantly if we're at a doctor's, hospital appointment, on the bus, anything that we've got to go to that we're worrying about. This is brilliant, because you can do it and no one knows. Our biggest fear is people can see what's going on inside us and they can't. So this is about, how do we just settle? How do we comfort ourselves? So if you get your hand out, and I'll just show you, talk you through it. So this is about, we're going to visually remember the speed we want to be breathing, because at the moment, when we're overwhelmed, full of anxiety, our breathing's like, so we want to just visually remind ourselves to reset. So if I get you all now, and I always ask if I can get you to settle your feet on the floor or on a surface. Just feel the backs of your legs on where you're sitting on the chair that you're sitting on, and just allow your shoulders to drop. And all of us together, just take a nice big deep breath in. So breathing in. and you get our hands. So we're going to run our fingers up as we're breathing. So breathing in. And at the top, we're just going to pause and pinch and breathe out. Pause, breathing in. And out. Breathing in. And out. Dropping those shoulders. That's it. Breathing in. And out. Breathing in. Squeezing. And out. Now, hopefully, that will settle us. I would suggest you can just keep doing it for a while. You don't have to do the full hand. You can literally just do. Now, I've asked you to just put your hand in front of you. I'm very big on trying not to make us look as daft as we can, because I always think I can look daft on my own without me introducing me walking around with your hand like this. Though, quick tip, and I used to teach this during COVID, is, is if you're out, people get a bit too close and they're bothering you, genuinely, in the middle of a supermarket, start doing this here. They will move, right? They will move. So if you want people to move, start doing it. Oh, let's move away from the crazy one. Ideally, not that you can see me, this is down on the table or down on my lap. So I'm just kind of. You could do that anyway. Another really, it's all about touch, it's all about comfort. Give your hand away. Hold your hand. Just hold your hand. What's the first thing we do to a little one or a friend or someone that we're close to and they're upset? Come on, give us your hand. Just do that again. No one knows what you're doing. Another lovely one. It's just giving your hand a massage. Just anyway, just. There's acupuncture points within all of us. There's all these meridian points. And this is about sending the message to your brain that everything is okay. The brain doesn't know the difference between a real threat or a perceived one. And if we've just suddenly felt overwhelmed because we worry about whatever we're worrying about, we could pick anything. We don't even need something to worry about to have anxiety. That's my world. So it's about soothing. And it's about doing this that no one knows what I'm doing. All that. You know, when you give someone a hug, give yourself, again, no one knows. It's just soothing. It's really nice. I didn't realise how much I missed hugging during COVID. I didn't realise I was such a hugger. I haven't gone back to being a full hugger yet because we just got out of the habit, didn't we? And it's like, are we allowed to do that or not still? But I do. It's comforting. No one knows. It's about just soothing ourselves. So I am mindful of time now. What do I have? So we have this beautiful this, the old oak tree meditation. This is about releasing. We often collect lots of negativity from around us, and we certainly collect lots of different kinds of energy as we just get me shaking my head. Sorry, I'm supposed to be teaching you, not getting caught in that. Oh, I do. I so do, because I do. So this morning I got caught up in, why can't I finish this? Why can't I do this now? I used to be able to do this now. Feel myself, heart speaks a little bit quicker. So we'll just spend a moment or two, if that's okay, is to get yourself comfortable. And everyone's comfortable is different. It might be as well. I'm sitting in a chair right now. I have my feet on the floor or on the surface, which works best for you. It might be that you're lying down. It might be on the, wherever you are. Just, it's fine. And just all of us together take a really nice, big, deep breath in. So breathing in. And out. allowing your shoulders to drop, feeling that connection. Breathing in. And release. And this particular meditation is about thinking of the roots. Breathe at your own space, your own time. Just relax. The roots of a beautiful big oak tree and how they go down through into the ground, those big thick roots down into the ground, just down, but they also grow out as well, bringing us that stability, allowing ourselves that moment to connect and to ground. If you choose to, close your eyes. Give yourself a moment to settle. Relaxing your jaw. Just allow the tongue to drop into the bottom of the mouth. Relaxing the cheeks and the forehead. Allow your chest to relax. Just giving yourself this moment of stillness. Allowing the mind to just clear and be free. Allowing the body to relax. What's comfortable for you. And I'm still feeling that connection where my feet are and the backs of my legs are. Whatever connection you can feel. And through gravity, I'm just allowing all of those worries to just slowly make their way down through my body. And they're going to make their way out through the connection. Right now in mine, I'm just imagining that my feet that I've got, roots coming through the bottom of the feet, and only do what's right and comfortable for you. Just allowing all of that worry down through my body, letting go. That connection, allowing it down now and out through the bottom of my feet. Breathing in calm. Breathing out as you let go. Relax those shoulders. Breathing in calm. And letting go. Breathing in calm. And letting go. Just enjoying this moment right now of stillness. Relax that chest. Just spending a moment to thank our bodies. Letting go of any tension, just let it go. Before we come back today, just thank our bodies for everything that they do for us. Feeling that love and compassion, that connection with ourselves. Breathing. Breathing in calm. Letting go. And slowly, in your own time, just come back into where we are today. Just work with your body, what works for you. Maybe give your shoulders move, gentle, just stretch back in your chair. Lift up the connection with your feet to the floor or the surface. Just give a little wiggle, but work with your bodies and where you are. And I'm hoping that has helped with just a little bit of relaxation. I do love this. I love the oak tree. The oak tree doesn't have to run around to be noticed. The oak tree just allows life, the seasons to come and go. Be more like an oak tree. I do think that myself sometimes. So, mindful of time, I've probably done way much more than what I was asked to do. Story of my life. I do because I'm passionate. I'm passionate. I love being able to, if I can help, if this has helped, please let me know. And any thoughts, if you've got any questions, please ask Lee, and I know she'll pass them on. I wanted to, if it's okay, just do a little bit of shameless advertising of just who we are. So I set up Rainbow After the Storm with Mental Health Matters, which is a Facebook page. Just as COVID started, we have a large, we have 7,500 people following us from around the world, actually. So really nice, and it's more importantly, it's a safe place to be. We're on Twitter. We're on all the socials. I love saying that. I'm 50 at the end of this month. Don't really quite know what this all means, but apparently we're on the socials. There's an email there, or that Lee can get hold of me. The couple I really wanted to point out was the YouTube. So Rainbow After the Storm, Mental Health Matters. There are loads and loads of meditations on there. I every day was doing a chat and a mindfulness session or a meditation on there. There's lots on there. There's lots of little videos on how to do the finger breathing, how to deal with panic. There are there's lots on there. There's ones on there about sleep. There's all kinds on there. So please have a look at that. Feel free to subscribe if you choose to. It is up to you. Don't cost anything. You don't have to. But have a look and let me know. Let me know what you think. And then the other one that we have here, I want to point out, was our website, which is rainbowafterthestorm.org. We have lots of information on there. We are also, that's where you could, if you choose to, have a look at some of the booklets that we've got. Like I said, to be honest with you, the little bit of time for me, which is where some of the things today were taken from. £2.50. I try to, we keep everything really reasonable. The I Am I Can, I think is on there, 50 odd pages, which is a core set each. They're £5, and then the Moment of Sleep and the mindfulness ones, a couple of pounds, something like that, a bit of postage on top, and we keep postage as it is, what we pay for it at the post office. We also have our little boxes as well. There's some really, really lovely things on there as well, and those are just things, resources that may help. If there is anything in particular that you would like resources wise, please just let me know. Always open. I am going to be working as hard as I'm able to. I don't know how many hours that equates to at the moment, because I really want to do, this is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, which is working with the invisible illnesses. We're working on names and all kinds at the moment. So long COVID would come under that as well. So if there's anything in particular that you would like covering, please let me know, and I will let Lee know with regards to the courses that I'm teaching, because I do think the I Am I Can could be adjusted so that it helps with long COVID, because it's about how to say no, it's about our boundaries, I've got mindfulness in there, it's got dealing with anxiety, that's in there as well. So I think there's a lot that we could use in there, dealing with drama, so our drama in our mind, what we get caught up in, other people's drama, how to avoid that, how to deal with that. There's some confidence in there as well. There's something else. There's 7 sections in there. So if you'd be interested in that, please let Lee know, and Lee, I'm sure, will let me know. But thank you for your time. Please know, I think it's great this group is going up and going. Please know you're not on your own. You are not on your own. And I know Lee has said this to you as well, but know that anything that you're able to share with us will help others. I promise you now that if you come back and say, Nick, what I really need is this, this and this, could you have a look at this for me? That anything that you're able to share with me, or I will help other people with it. You may never meet them. You may never know them, but I will use it. And that's where all of this has come from. Someone's been sat in your chair at some point and just gone, I'm really struggling with this. Often it's, I'll be honest with you, often it's driven from myself, but I'm so lucky with the audience that I'm able to speak to and I can get a huge collection of different answers, because I don't know the answer, but there might be someone out there who just really relates to where you are. Also on the back of here, because I've just seen the word relate, all of the numbers, if you are struggling, use them. Please do. My mum volunteers for Samaritans over in Spain, so you're not going to speak to my mum, but they are brilliant. They are not there just for suicide. They are there if you are feeling overwhelmed or you are struggling. Pick up the phone. Do not sit and struggle. Do not sit and struggle. There's also a shout, which is a text one, because sometimes I don't want to talk. There we go. Advice and guidance only. Always go back to your doctor. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time. I will stop the share there. I don't know. There we go. Stop the share there. Thanks. Something. We'll go this way. Thank you for your time. I really hope this has helped, even if it's just ever so slightly. Let me know how you get on. Let Lee know, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Take care, won't you? I might be here a while trying to suss out how to turn Zoom off, because that's where it is. Thank you, all of you, for your time. It's really been appreciated. Thank you very much, and take care. Bye-bye.